journey as well, because it's an incredible journey. Let us pray. And Jacob said unto his father Isaac, I am Esau thy firstborn. I have done according as thou didst me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless thee. Genesis 27:19. Brothers and sisters, please pray with me. Father God, make yourself known to us in our weakest moments and in our greatest fears. Teach us to receive your love in a way that enables us to show it to others, especially those closest to us. Amen.
Amen.
The title of my message today is Grooming for Leadership. Grooming for Leadership. The season of Lent is quickly approaching, and I am sure there's much housekeeping to be done within our hearts. All of us at some point in our lives go through struggles, some more than some. But God goes through our struggles to accomplish His purpose. The word that came to me many years ago came from Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. God is not in the business of harming anyone, but He gives us hope and a future. We are constantly wrestling with fears. It is perhaps one of the greatest forces that hinders God's grace to bless us. Fear is our enemy. Today I will take you through the life of a dysfunctional family, Isaac's family, Abraham's son. Special emphasis will be placed on his grandson, Joseph. Remember Joseph. We've all heard the story of this incredible young man. Let us now take a good look at Joseph's grandparents, Isaac and Rebekah. God had already told Rebekah that two nations were wrestling inside her womb. The older will serve the younger. How can it be? It was always the oldest who would be the leader of a family, but God's choice is not our choice. He had already told Rebekah who would be the leader. We're talking about leadership. Now Rebekah, since God told her that from the womb now, she had to keep that inside her heart. I believe she didn't even share it with Isaac, because this could have fought God's plan, but she kept it for an appointed time. All of us have, and God has an appointed time for all of us. We might feel that we are going through some struggles and no light at the end of the tunnel. It will be unemployment. It will be some distress of some kind. It will be a sickness. Whatever that challenge is, there is an appointed time for God's plan to be fulfilled in every soul's life. To test their faith, a plan had to be implemented for this prophecy to be fulfilled. Now, take Rebekah. Isaac loved Esau, and Rebekah loved Jacob. Right away you can see a dysfunctional family, favoritism. I will take you to a series of these different challenges that face this family. Sometimes parents will choose one child over another. Sometimes a child will be a teacher's pet. Not one is always in front of the teacher's face, soaking up all this knowledge. These are the ones you find in the library, reading books and doing all this kind of stuff. The other children are outside playing or getting into some kind of trouble. But these teachers' pets They're the ones that teach us love. I couldn't stand these kids. They were on they were my last runner-about. We were the ones getting in trouble, getting beaten by the teachers. But these children were so docile and so happy and so obedient. I said, what's wrong with them? But God would take all of that and He would change it around. We see great leaders today, but we do not know what they had to go through to get where they are. They may not have been the teacher's pet. We see the children today with their parents to load them up. But tomorrow when you look at some of these children, they're the bankers, they're the priests, they're all kinds of lawyers and doctors and all kinds of great people. We see people with great adversity. How did you come through something like that? And that was totally grace. Because no man can come through the kind of testing that some people go through unless God was with them. And God was with Joseph. So we now take Joseph on this journey. Imagine his father, Jacob. Joseph was a special son. Why? He was the son from his favorite wife, Rachel. So Joseph would be a part of Rachel. He would nurture Joseph because Joseph would always remind him of the woman whom he loved. So right there you see favoritism. So favoritism, maybe that was Jacob's problem. He favored one child over all the other children. And that sort of jealousy among his brethren. How many of you parents practice that? You favor one child over another. And next thing you know, the rest of them jealous. And they're going to rebel. And they're going to do all kinds of wicked stuff that will rip the last runner out. But favoritism is a dangerous thing. And Jacob, in addition to being his favorite Joseph, he went and he made him this beautiful little coat of many colors. Why did he not make a special coat for all of his sons? Why only Joseph? So you can see Jacob was setting his family up for the fall. And then in addition, Joseph's problem was he had dreams. He had his prophetic dreams. And he couldn't keep his big mouth shut. So he went flattering all over the place, telling his brothers all this stuff that he dreamed and all this kind of stuff. And then flaunting his little coat all over the place. Stirring up all kinds of jealousy and trouble. I mean, this is a real dysfunctional family. And next thing we know now, his father, who protected him so much, sent Joseph out on this dangerous errand. If that was his mistake. Because Joseph didn't know the territory. He was wandering around wilderness trying to find his brethren. And when they saw him coming, they had a reason now to take Joseph and send him and kill his dreamer and stop his dream. But you know what? When God has put something in your heart, that's for you. And no amount of trouble or any distress can take that away from you. If you are to get that promotion, you may have to go through something to get it. But eventually you will get it. You may say, well, everything looks so dim, so bad, nothing is happening. But something is happening. Because in God's school, you're being trained for the task. You are in God's school. And God Himself, He will put you through some stuff. But when you come out, you'll be like a little light shining, a little beacon shining for Him. So children and people, don't think that you do not have a little gift to offer. You have something that you can offer. You can be a beacon, a light for Christ, a light bearer for Him. It may be a simple little gift, but whatever you bring and is pleasing unto Him, He will use it and glorify His name. Amen. So now we see Joseph going to his brethren. They saw him coming, And what do? They say, oh, here comes this dreamer. We better kill him and get rid of him. And that will be the end of this dream. So they took Joseph, put him in this well. They took off his clothes and put him down there. A well that had no water in it. Deep well. Can you imagine being put down with no water? A slow death. He will suffer from dehydration and die. That was their intention. But thanks be to God, God has a backup plan. One of his brothers came and said, don't kill him. He cannot shed blood. He cannot shed blood. Don't kill him. But he had planned to come and rescue him. But when he came to rescue him, they had already sold him to the Ishmaelites. So he was sold as a slave in Egypt. Things get worse, even still for Joseph. They took his beautiful coat that his father made for him. I imagine Jacob put a love in every stitch of that coat for his son Joseph. And they took it, ripped it, put blood all over it. And these young men, this is a part of it that I couldn't understand. They took that coat and took it to his father Jacob. And they said, do you know whose coat this is? And Jacob identified the coat as his son Joseph's coat. And this man went with luck. He wept with a great lament and cried for his son, because he thought his son was dead, so wild animal had killed him. And these sons stood around and saw their father Jacob, go into such grief, and they did not say anything, but their mouths were shut for an appointed time, because God had a balanced plan. And so now Joseph sold out into Egypt. And you will feel that Joseph's situation is under control. But now he's a slave from a very beloved son, chosen before he was even, but while he was still in his mother's Rachel's womb, to be a leader. Joseph didn't know that. Jacob didn't know that. Even Father Abraham way back, his great-great-grandfather didn't know that. But God knew it because God had a plan. So now he is in Potiphar's house. And he was such an obedient child. He was one of those students that did not cause his father Jacob any trouble. A goody-two-shoes student. We have those, don't we? Those goody-two-shoes which we hate so much. He was a goody-two-shoes student, and he was under his father Jacob's tutelage. But here, we go under God. So in Potiphar's house, he was well trained and well paid. So his promotion, he started gradually to get promotion. Gradually, didn't come overnight. So those of you who want to get there fast, it's not a good idea. You may have to pay a price for promotion. You may have to pay a price for leadership. And we see this all the time. We see it with Martin Luther King. He's now in the Black History Month. We see it with Abraham Lincoln. We see it with many of our great leaders. The struggles they have to go through in order to be the great men and women of today. We see even President Barack Obama hasn't been easy for him, but he was raised up to be a leader such a time as this. So children, this is for our youth especially, because they are the leaders of tomorrow. And you may go through some trials and testings, but be encouraged, because there's a light, there's a gift that you have that God can use. But you have to work at it. It's not going to come easily. It's a work of God, a timely process. So when you go to school, be listen to your teachers. Be obedient to your parents, because there will be a reward at the end of all that. So now Joseph is there in Potiphar's house, doing his work honestly, faithfully. But here comes another thorn in Joseph's life. Potiphar's wife looked at this beautiful young man, lusted after him, and before you know it, she grabbed hold of him and wanted to have this relationship. But Joseph had learned. He had learned. Because remember Joseph's sister. She was raped. And Joseph knew that even though he was a little boy. So how would Joseph now go and do something like this to this woman and sin against God? Joseph was a man of integrity. And even though he had to go through so much, his integrity stayed with him. And it was that integrity that catapulted him up to the top. He's now in Potiphar's house. This accusation came against him. Next, and Joseph is thrown into prison, handcuffed, and into prison. How bad can it get? And he's not grumbling or complaining. He's probably wondering, God, where are you? What's happening, God? Can't you see all this that is happening to me? And his father, Jacob, on the other hand, they cannot even understand what's happening. He's blinded to the fact that the son is still alive. But he is grieving back home. And there is Joseph, put into prison, but by a divine intervention, 2 prisoners upset Pharaoh. And Pharaoh threw them into prison. The cupbearer and the baker. But they had dreams while they were in prison, the same cell where Joseph was. And Joseph interpreted their dreams. And next thing we know, one of them, the prophecy came true to those dreams. One was set free, and the other one went back to serve Pharaoh. God has a plan in everything. No matter how miserable things are, He has a good plan. So now Pharaoh himself had dreams, but the magicians could not interpret his dreams. And finally, an appointed time came. An appointed time. Jacob remembered Joseph. God remembered Joseph. God remembers you and me. When your prayers and your tears and your lamentation and you go through the struggles and the ups and downs of life, and you think all is lost and there's no hope for me, God has an appointed time to bless you, to bless your family, to bless your prayers. So do not give up praying for your children. Do not give up praying for one another. Because you never know when those prayers will be favorably answered. So now we're in, he's up, they said, bring him into to Pharaoh. He sees Pharaoh and he humbles himself. And he probably didn't even know why Pharaoh wanted to see him. He said, well, maybe some other problem or some more trouble I'm into. Because that's going to be the first thing that will come to his mind. I'm in deep trouble this time. And there's a twist of fate. He told Pharaoh his dream. Pharaoh told him what he meant. And Joseph interpreted the dream. And those prophetically came to pass. From a little boy, maybe running barefoot in the grass that no one had any hope for. No one thought anything much of. We have those people today. Many times growing up in the Caribbean, I'm not ashamed to say, we were running around with no shoes on our feet. know, we had to do some things that the children today don't have to do. We had to go to the well and bring water buckets on our heads. We had to do a lot of chores in the house. But God has a plan.
Amen.
I think of people like Oprah Winfrey, who has a problem. But look at how God has used her to bless so many people. I think of many others that God has chosen, that they will bless many others. So God doesn't keep His gifts just for you alone. Those gifts are to bless other people. And so now we come back to Joseph. And here is Joseph, told Potiphar's dream. Can you find a man who I can put over all of this? Well, Joseph, you are the man. You will be governor over all of Egypt. Next second to me. You will report only to Pharaoh. But everyone else has to report to you, Joseph. So here are his brothers who wanted to do all evil to them. He had a prophetic dream that they would bow down before him. And through some divine intervention, some providence of God, there was a big famine. So everyone had now to go down to Egypt to buy grain. During the harvest of plenty, there's Coca-Cola tree. And now comes the famine. And Jacob himself now sent his sons. What a story. Sent his sons down to Egypt to buy grain. But when they got there, these are spies. Joseph, now in Egyptian culture, learned the Egyptian language. He did not even address his brothers in their own native language. He got himself an interpreter who also knew their language. So that he was able to relate to his brother through this interpreter because he was testing them. And he put them through this test to test that the real. Joseph wants retribution. But God has that in hand. Because like any of us, we would take them by the neck and strangle them for all they put us, into something like that. The first thing we say, oh, I don't want anything to do with this person. Put them in jail, hang them, do whatever you can, but get them out of my sight. But God has Joseph. Now, I'm talking about families. We are a family here.
Amen.
And in every family, there is always some kind of a conflict. Somebody stepped on somebody's toe. And I can't forgive that person. I don't care what you have to tell me. That person's going to be too deep. I can't forgive that. Many of you in this church know that my son was